There we go. Good afternoon. It's Phil from Discover Tai Chi. Here we are again for limb power, and we're going to go through some nice easygoing movements with a bit of a theme called Wake Up, Focus and Relax. So that's the theme. Some of those movements will be familiar, but it's just how we're putting them together. So I'm going to start seated. You get in position. Seated or standing, as always, all the movements are really aimed at people seated or standing, so feel free to mix and match as you wish. Okay, so first one is our simple little 3-phase progression, starting with Chi. This seems a good place to start. We'll do 3 of these. Again, option to have an in-breath with the rise, out-breath with the lower. Here's the third one. And then opening hearts, we just extend that movement outward. Could be with a big in-breath followed by an out-breath again, if you wish. Here we go again. And we'll do one more of those. And our final progression is hands overhead as far as you feel comfortable. Bring them down to the sides. And then once again, up, overhead, down. That's it. And last one. So that just gets us into the session quite nicely. Okay. So waking up, couldn't do better than Tiger wakes up from 5 animals. Again, I'm going to do this seated, but if you're standing, we take our tiger claws, we reach down and we're pulling up and then pushing overhead. And then pulling down as we do so. So again, you might have in mind just a lovely kind of opening stretch. Bit of a squeeze at the top and then bring the hands down. Squeezing up. And down. Okay. Cast your cares away. Again, we're going to start with the right hand and look and cast off to the left. And then left hand look and cast off to the right. And again, have this sense that we're waking up, we're mobilizing, we're getting movement into our joints, our muscles are getting activated, and we're waking up. Okay, one more each side. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to stand up now. Okay, bit more rotation. And this time it's Wise Owl, but we'll then segue into Repulse Monkey from the Yang style where we push through. So again, asking a little bit more of us. So we're turning to the right and then simply turning back. Turn to the left, back to the center. Turn to the right again and back to the left. We'll do that one more time on each side and then we'll segue into Repulse Monkey. So last time, Okay, when we turn to the right, it's the back hand that pushes through, and push it through with a certain amount of resistance against that palm. And then we do the same with the left one. Push through as if we're working against resistance as we do so. And the same again, alternating from one side, then to the other. Lots of rotation. Going to make this our last one. Okay. Okay. Balance challenge coming up. Okay. So just be aware. We're going to follow a helium balloon as it goes up. It's going to go overhead, and we're going to let it go as far as it possibly can. And then we're going to draw it back down. Then we're going to bring the hands round onto the backs of the thighs. This is where we take a little bow. Look after your balance. Hands can come down the backs of the legs, round the thighs or even the knees, and then we come back upright again. Okay. Hopefully my mic didn't distort too much once again. Helium balloon. So I like this. It's a cue that Helen uses, my Helen. And it gives us a sense of length and tallness. And then we bring it down. So it's a bit different from my cue of lifting a box. And I quite like the notion of a helium balloon giving us some length. Once again, a little bow. Down we go. Stay well within a comfortable range. Don't aim for a big stretch. Okay, here we go again. Helium balloon. Down it comes. Round. That's it. That's our last one. Excellent. Okay. Part the earth from the sky. This time we are going to have this sense of pushing in two directions. Start by holding our beach ball. Doesn't matter which hand is on top or which hand is on the bottom. Bring that bottom hand forwards and up and turn it over, and then press up and press down just like so. And then bring the hands back together. Bottom hand comes up over the top just like so. Alternate from one to the other. Simple. Have a sense that the spine is encouraged to lengthen with every push, and then everything relaxes as we bring the hands back together. Once again, this sense of being lengthened is the kind of notion, or growth and then relaxation. Here we go again. And one more. Excellent. And back down. Okay. Final movement in this little wake up phase is to shoot some arrows. We're going to do it from the vantage point of a boat. Okay, so balance challenge again. I should have a little red light and a siren, shouldn't I? Okay, I want you to imagine that you are stood in a boat, a smallish boat, so that you, if you shift your weight to one side and then shift your weight to the other side, you would gently rock that boat. So just practice that. See if you can put the brakes on so that you're not going too far one way or the other, that you're in control of the rock from one side and then to the other side. Okay, so that's our rocking. Bring yourself to a standstill. So let's pick up our boat. I'm going to look to my left as the hands come just overhead, and then I'm dropping my left hand, but I'm going to rock my boat to the right. So I shift my weight and then I drop the right hand and then I recenter myself. And then once again, we pick the hands up or pick the bow up, turn the palms this time, looking to the right, dropping the right arm, rocking my boat to the left. Put the brakes on so we don't rock too far and then re-stabilize and centered back down again. So there's a lot of work going on there. You can no doubt feel. Here we go again. So I'm rocking to the right as I draw and look to my bow on the left. And then recenter, stabilize. And then once again, here we go again. Looking to the right, rocking your boat to the left, but not too far. Put the brakes on. You're in control of this boat. Last time to both sides, okay? So looking left, rocking right. And back. And last time, looking right, rocking to the left. And then re-stabilize. Okay, okay. Just like they used to do in old school role play, you're back on the land, okay? So you don't have to feel that you're too wobbly. Okay, so I'm going to sit back down. Next phase is focus, okay? Next phase is focus. So this is about focused attention. Again, if you want to stay standing, please do, but if you want to join me seated, that's okay. Okay, so focused attention. First of all, bring our palms together. Don't worry if you can't get your hands flat together. I know we all have very different hands and levels of flexibility and various other things. So circle the hands in, elbows get to stick out and then up in front of the face and then forwards. Lots of length there and then down and back in again. I always have the notion of a steam train setting off from a station. And it's called focusing the mind or focusing attention. So if you wish, you can have this breath in, followed by a breath out. As we push the hands and arms forward, we get quite a stretch. There's quite a demand in the shoulders, isn't there, for mobility and flexibility. So work with that. I'll do one more. Okay. Excellent. So lots of rotation, getting the shoulders moving. We'll do pushing palms again. It's about focus and attention. We're going to have the notion of pushing doors alternately on one side and then the other. My right hand tips and then it pushes across my body to the left and I look in that direction, but I want to have a sense of pushing the door open and then drawing my hand back. And then I turn my left hand and it now pushes across my body to the right. And then relaxes back. So really have this focus on pushing a door. There's some resistance, And when it's open, you can draw the hand back nice and relaxed. And then once again, apply some focused attention to push across in the opposite direction. And one more on each side. Push. Get a stretch through the shoulder. Final push through on the opposite side, just like so. Okay, so that was a push. Kind of makes sense to now do a pull, a pulling movement. And we've got just the movement, haven't we? Pulling the boat or pulling a rope. So again, we start with the hands tucked in, but this time in loose fists. And we reach out with one hand towards our rope. We wrap, take a turn, and then we pull. And as we do so, our other hand goes out, ready to take the rope with a wrap and pull. And now we've got this smooth, ooh, excuse me, sneeze. That's what we've got. A smooth sneeze. Bless me. Thank you. I'm definitely conjuring mental imagery of being beside the water. It made me sneeze. So we're drawing our boat in smoothly. I'm not sure what my sneeze would have done to my smooth pull of a boat, but you get the idea. Focusing on creating as little disturbance as possible. And reaching and pulling smoothly. Trying to have this sense that the hands and arms are connected and that they move together in unison rather than two separate things. Okay, two more pulls. Here's a penultimate pull. And then our last pull with our focused attention is to bring that boat into shore very gently. Perfect. Okay. So, keeping with the focus theme, let's do wave hands in clouds, yang style. Again, this gives us lots of scope to pay attention and to apply our focus. So, right hand wraps around. Again, we'll use our analogy of a dance partner. So the hand is in the shoulder blades. The left hand sweeps around, that hand falls in the small of the back. Okay. Picture yourself in that embrace. Try to have a sense that you are drawing your partner towards you. That gives us the right kind of feel. Okay. Because it's the right hand on top, I look to the right, I turn gently in that direction, then I take the top hand off, swap hands up and down, left hand on top now, so I sweep my imaginary partner to the left. And that's the movement. But what we're looking for is a nice turn of the head and eyes to lead the movement. Think of really skilled ballroom dancers. They lead the movement with a subtle head turn or a look of the eyes, and it helps the audience understand where they're going as well. So we're doing just the same thing. We're looking in the direction in which we plan to turn and take our partner. And that helps us build some rotation into the neck and the shoulders and the trunk. And if you're standing up, the hips also. And we're probably noticing some weight shift from one hip if we're sat down to the other. And if you're standing up from one leg to the other, not a great deal, but again, there's a discernible shift of weight and rotation. So we've got to focus on coordinating all of these little elements, all the while exchanging hands at, at either side of the movement smoothly. I'm going to do one more on each side. Don't worry which side you're on in relation to me. We'll just do one more. I'm going to come back to the center and then let my partner go. So really having to focus a lot. There's a lot to coordinate, isn't there? So you have to have lots of attention spread around in different parts of the body to coordinate that movement smoothly. Okay, so that brings the focus part of the session to a close. So now we're in the relax phase. Okay, I'm going to stand up again. I'm going to ring the changes and just stand up. Again, if you want to stay seated, please do so. Okay, so the relaxation part of the movement. So let's start off. Nice sense of a gentle breeze. If you're standing up with me, or even if you sat down and you can shift the right leg, I'm saying right leg if you can, a bit further forward. It might be a shift of the hip in the seat, just to give you a sense of emphasis on that right side. And we lead off with the right hand and arm by just gently sweeping hands and arms to and fro. Breeze blowing through the willow tree. So try and have that sensibility in mind. Warm summer's day, gentle breeze, and a really lovely weeping willow. And try and kind of embody all of those qualities as we do so. If you're standing up, you might get some shift of weight going to and fro. If you sat down, you could allow yourself a bit of a lean forwards and back as you wish, if that feels good to you. Okay, let that breeze just kind of dissipate. Bring that right leg back if you had it forward. Get yourself ready to do the same on the left side. So an emphasis on the left again. Could be a step, could just be a bit of a shift in terms of weight, whether we're seated or standing. And we lead off with the left hand. And again, in a similar style, with a similar sensibility, we gently sweep the hands to and fro with some body weight moving as well, if possible. Okay. Lovely. So that gets us into that relax phase. We kind of started a couple of minutes after the half hour. Are you okay for a couple of minutes past 7 o'clock? Just so that we get a full bit of time in. I get the general gist, yes. Okay, so next movement in the relaxation phase is pushing waves. Again, we've got this emphasis, once again, on the right side. Again, it could be a shift of weight, it could be a push of a leg forward, whether we're seated or standing. And again, I want this sense of gentleness. So we're pushing a wave out, but it doesn't require much force. Very gently. Again, there's some weight shift, if that's okay. Again, very gentle. Not making big waves. We're just creating little waves, sending them out very gently. But again, Lots of coordination going on at the same time. Let's swap to the left. Same thing. Same emphasis if you can on that left side. And once again, send out some waves. Excellent. Make that the last one. Okay. And let's do a flower unfolding and then refolding as the evening comes. So we're bringing the backs of our hands together like so. Backs of the hands. And then I'm looking down to the ground, whether I'm standing up or seated. There's a stretch through the shoulders and the back of the neck, and then I turn my hands out, let them fall behind, and I lift my head slightly in the rib cage. It's like having the sun in your face, and then gently turn the hands, look down, and it's as if you fold up for the night. And then once again, here comes the sun. Open up, face to the sun, lift the rib cage and the face, hands behind. That's good. I do like this one. And then fold up. Here we go. Last time. Opening up, turning the palms, looking up, lifting the ribs. And then this time we simply relax back into place. Okay, so last couple of movements, and they're familiar movements. Gather celestial energy, gather Earth's energy, just to bring things to a nice round. So, just picking my hands up, palms are down, fingers gently pointing. Once again, we look up. There's the night sky. Hands slide upwards, and then slide the hands back down. Bring some stars. Gather those stars. Let them go. And then we take our blanket as we lift the hands out to each side. Imagine a blanket, and we wrap ourselves in that blanket. And then we let the blanket fall away. And then once again, pick the hands up, palms down, lifting up. Bring some stars back down to earth. Let the hands gather in those stars, hold for momentarily, let them go. And now we're taking this big rug, the rug of the earth as I think of it. So it's all encompassing. And then fall away. Last one, final movement up to the sky. Bring down some stars. And a gather. Here's the last time for that blanket to wrap. And then just let the hands fall away. There we go. That's kind of got us to 7:05. So I hope that's been okay. We started just a little bit over, so I hope that's been okay just to go over a bit. Thank you so much for joining me. For those people who watch later as well, thank you. Don't forget you can get in touch if you have any questions or comments. For now, I'm going to wish you goodbye. I'm going to stop the recording. Pull my seat in.